Hey, how you doing? Long time no see. So this is a trigger guard I made. I'm working on building another Flintlock rifle. This was forged out of wrought iron. It was some wrought iron I got from Thomas Goodemoot. I forged this part as one, and then I forged this part as one, and then I pinned them together and brazed them. Now I'm just cleaning all the forge scale off. It's going to be a little, not little, it's going to be a 50 cal. I was just out here in the shop filing away and thought I'd fire up the YouTube and see if anybody wants to listen to a file. Got that bottom side cleaned up pretty well. I like the way this point came out. Blurry. It's not perfect, but the rifle won't be either, so. But it will all be handmade by me. And for the rifle, I'm going kind of non-traditional. It's going to be a Bucks, inspired after the rifles out of Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And a later Bucks County, like a 1790s to 1810s. Those were it's called the golden age of muzzleloaders. That's when they had all the fancy, engravings, and everything was brass and polished up all nice. But I'm kind of going for that style, that shape of gun, but it's going to be all wrought iron mountings. I'm going to forge all the parts for it. I'm buying the barrel, and I'm buying a kit to make the lock, even though I have been working on a lock. This has all been forged by me. Spring and everything. I've made all the screws are made by me. So that's kind of been a little project for a pistol. But for this one, I bought a kit for the lock. Locks are tricky. Lots of little moving parts. Problem with wrought iron, it's so dang soft. I almost feel like it's softer than brass. Just clamping stuff up here in the vise, it's getting all marked up. Hi, Jeff. How you doing? And by the way, I know I'm dragging my file back across, but I'm letting off pressure. I'm not one of those guys. Doing okay? That's good. Good to hear. Flintlocks are fun. Dangerously fun. So the plan is, this was made out of forged out of wrought iron, 2 parts. This was 1 part. This was the 2nd part. Then I pinned them together and brazed them. So I'm just cleaning all that up right now. I went to, I don't know if you're on, were you on Roy's live stream Friday? We got talking about rendezvous and stuff. Well, I went to that rendezvous down around Indy, and I found a beautiful, beautiful drawing the viewers in with filing. Yeah. No, I just wanted to be real. If you don't want to listen to a file, you don't have to stay. I found a beautiful piece of curly maple for $55. So, couldn't resist it. Hopefully later this week, I'm going to order a barrel and a large Siler lock kit. But everything else is going to be an iron mounted, all wrought iron. I'm going to forge everything out of wrought iron. Just because I can. Because I'm crazy. Hi, Trail Dust. .54 cal. I was throwing back and forth 50 or 54. I used to have a Thompson Center Hawken. It was just a percussion lock. And that was a 50, so I already have some 50 stuff. So I'm thinking of just sticking with 50. But I'm going to go with a Rice match grade barrel. Swamped 42 inch. Wife just got home, had to slip away for a bit. 50 cal. What's the rolling ball sculpture, Kevin? Interesting. So is it just like a circle track, or just make it kind of whatever you want? Whatever you want. Interesting. So Jeff, you've built flintlocks before? Just a kit? Yeah, I've only built one. This will be my second one. But the one that I built was bought all the parts from Track of the Wolf. It was just a blank of wood. No inletting been done, just a rough blank. So I had to cut the stock out and everything, do all the inletting. Got the small solder lock kit because that was a Little 36 caliber squirrel gun. I didn't know anything about flintlocks when I bought that, and I was about ready to throw the dang thing away because I was shooting a Pyrex, and 1 out of 20, 1 out of 20 hammer falls, the pan would actually ignite, and then 1 out of 20 of those pan flashes would actually set off the charge. And I was over. I was like, oh, this is why flintlocks are so outdated. And then found out you have to use actual black powder. Makes a world of difference. But yeah, that one was basically the same thing I'm doing with this one. As far as I bought the barrel and the lock kit and then just made everything else. But that one, I have a video on it, but it's Thomas. How are you going live on YouTube? I don't know, I just did. The first time I went to go live, I had to wait 24 hours or something like that. But after that, I've just stream on my phone. Yep, that 36 I use 3F. Still kind of working up a load for it. Really, just getting into it. I've used Schutzen and GoX 3F, and I use 3F in the pan as well. Just easier to only have one powder horn. Nope. I don't even have YouTube Premium or whatever. Don't pay for any of that. This is that trigger guard I forged last night, Thomas. Got the 2 parts riveted and brazed together. Now I'm just cleaning it all up. Yeah, Jeff, my original hopes was to use that 36 for deer hunting, because here in Indiana, the smallest legal caliber or projectile for muzzleloader is .357. So I figure, oh, 36, I'm just over. Well, not thinking about you shoot like .350 round ball out of a 36. So it's actually undersized. Highly doubt anybody would ever say anything, but the plan with this one is a 50. Definitely be legal. And then maybe one day go all Clay Hayes and take it out west and elk hunt with it. I'm not sure, Thomas. Part of me really wants to, but part of me wants to keep it traditional and just do like a mirror polish. If I do a mirror polish on it, you may be able to see the grain, and then over time, as it, naturally oxidizes, it'll start showing the pattern more. I'm actually really pleased with how this is turning out. It's kind of funny, Jeff. You figure Pennsylvania would be more proud of their long rifles and let you get away with the smaller caliber. Yeah, 357 here in Indiana for muzzleloader, and then 30 caliber for rifle. Then the rifle also has a minimum and maximum case length. Not sure what it is, but I firearm hunt with a 4570 because it's fun. I honestly haven't actually looked into our seasons for muzzleloader. We do not have as far as I know, a specific flintlock or traditional. Um, I think there was talk of a traditional archery, but not muzzleloader as far as I know. And I know there's a late season that's after Christmas through like January 5th or something like that. But I want to say there's an earlier muzzleloader season too. And we can use muzzleloaders during firearm season. Good luck on that, Thomas. Yeah, Jeff, I've actually really considered. I've got a naturally right here in front of me. It's a new birdie 1860 Army 44. Made some sweet grips for it, eagle head. Branded it. Made those grips out of walnut. I've actually thought about taking this out with the 4570. It's a 1886, made by Uberti as well. And I actually, with that 44, got a box of random lead over here somewhere. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. I used to work as a machinist, and I made a cutter so I can make my own molds for a 44 caliber Johnson & Dow. So it's an actual conical bullet you can pre-lube and load in the revolvers like they had in the Civil War, but they would have been paper cartridge. I'm not sure where my random box of lead is. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. I'll find it when I'm not looking for it. It does kind of bug me though. Yeah, well. Sexy anvil? Yeah. It's about 145 pound West. Can't find hardly any information on them besides their it's solid cast vanadium steel. Very, very comparable to like a Swedish cast. it's actually a decent proportion. I think it's in the ballpark of 16-inch face. Here's a yardstick. Yeah, 16.5-inch face. Just shy of 28 inches overall. The 4-inch wide face. Nice working size. I was actually at a previous job of mine. The guy that ran the fab shop heard I was getting into blacksmithing. He's like, "Hey, swing by my house on your way home." So I did, and says, "I got something for you. Back your truck up." So I backed the truck up to the garage, and he goes over underneath these shelves he had and drags out this anvil. Said it was his dad's, and he never used it. The anvil looked brand new when I got it. He's like, "If you can use it, you can have it." He said, "When I die, I don't want it to go to auction." So that's how I got my first real anvil. Yeah, Thomas, I kind of gave up on my challenge. Started getting this crazy idea for this gun, and been working on the gun, not the challenge. Yep, that's the cheapest anvil I've ever had, and the most high quality anvil I've ever had. No, it's a little monthly blacksmith challenge we have. If you're on Instagram and you're interested, hit Thomas up. Maybe he can add you. It's just a simple well, this month's is forging something you'd find at a hardware store, and it has to have an extra element to it. So either, something brass or a wooden handle, something like that. Preferably not blacksmith related, so you can't just forge a hammer or a pair of tongs. And then everybody who submits an entry by the end of the month gets to vote on their favorite project, whoever they think did it best, and whoever wins gets to choose the next month's challenge. About 10 1/4 inches tall. It might appear kind of short. And it maybe is a bit squattier, but it reminds me of like a hay button or something without such a tall waist. It's a very slender design, and I really, really like it. I'm sure. Hey, Thomas, you used to be able to buy guns at hardware stores. No, I'm gonna have to leave you guys. My phone just went down to 5%. I don't know if I have a charger out here. Found a charger. Heh, charger won't reach. Well, you're plugged in. You're no longer dying. There we go. You don't want to win because then you have to pick the next challenge. Hey, Thomas, you pay me enough money, I'll vote for Jeff. And I didn't mean that in a bad way, Jeff. That really sounded like a dick thing to say. Don't worry, Thomas. I'm still here for you. Can't believe you guys are all sticking around listening to me file. I actually find filing very relaxing. Especially wrought iron. So nice. So another thing I'm trying to do is keep track of my time. The first rifle and the last rifle that I built over the course of about 7 years. So you really kind of, lose track of time. And I really want to know how much time it actually takes to build something like this all by hand. So I've got about an hour and a half tonight of filing. And I had about 3.5, 4 hours yesterday. I forged these two pieces. And then I forged the butt plate. Butt plate's inside. It's going to be based off of a Bucks County, like a federal era, right around the turn of the 19th century. No, it's going to be a 50 cal. And I am going, when I say that Bucks County design, that's more towards like the shape of the stock. This would have been a more traditional trigger guard. Haven't decided yet on the patch box. I kind of want to try doing one of those, the side folding ones. I really want to sometime do a sliding wood patch box, but that really does not fit this this time frame. So I just wanted to make something from like the golden age of muzzleloading, and then doing all this out of the wrought iron, very non-traditional for a Bucks County rifle, because they were very ornate brass. Didn't always have a bunch of carving. The stock carving was more, can't think of the word. No, it's just going to be a single trigger. But the stock carving wasn't usually like the high relief carving on the Bucks County anyway. Yeah, it was a toss-up between a 50 and a 54. But I already have some stuff for a 50. My goal is to eventually, one day, take a wrought iron wagon wheel, cut about a 2-foot chunk out of it, roll it up into a tube, and forge weld it and make a 20 gauge or a 62 smoothbore. It would be really fun to try and make a set trigger by hand, though. Got enough room in the trigger guard. That may just happen yet. .20 gauge and 50 cal about the same. Pretty similar. 50 cal is actually closer to 5/8, 0.625. So 62 cal. I believe. I may be wrong. Maybe wrong. I believe a 20 gauge is about 5/8 of an inch, and a 12 gauge is about, it's just under 3/4, closer to a 72. Yeah, 50's half inch, 0.50. Alright, got most of the forge scale all taken off, cleaned up, trued up. You can really see how beneficial it is to forge as close to finish as you can. You can still see, you know, forge scale everywhere. I did not do a bunch of cleaning up on it, mainly just knocking that forge scale off. And it's already a very, in my mind, very elegant looking, nice flowing lines, not super, you know, heavy looking. So I think the next step, I'm going to have little, you know, extensions up here and right here that'll get inlet into the stock, then with a pin going through to hold the trigger guard on. So next step, I'll probably make those. Probably drill a hole through here, make a little tenon on the tab, pin it over, and then I can braze it. So it'll be staked and brazed. But got that off center just a little bit. That'll clean up okay. I'm liking it. Liking it. You can see how holding in the vise a couple times, how easily that wrought iron twists. Hopefully that's not doesn't become an issue when it's actually in the gun. Figure wrought iron be harder than brass, but it's a little bit better. This is all going to need some tweaking back and forth. Yep. Trigger guard for a flintlock rifle. Got an itch to build another gun. Everything's pretty well in line. I mean, ideally, if you're staring at this end of it, you're kind of in trouble anyway, so think that's going to be about all for tonight. Haven't got the barrel yet. I'm going to buy it from Track of the Wolf. I'm going with a rice match grade 42-inch swamp barrel. It's going to be fun to inlet. When I built my 36, it was a straight octagon, and actually right here is it had a 42-inch barrel. That thing was so stinking heavy, I cut a foot off the end of it, so it has a 30-inch barrel. And with the extra barrel, that 12-inch, took it into work, put it in the forge jaw on the lathe, turn a little wedding band, and then it's tapered. So the plan is, that's actually what this lock that I'm making all by hand was going to be for this, and be a pistol with a matched caliber to my rifle. But that was a straight octagon, so I actually made an octagonal butt plane, and that's how I inlet most of the barrel, was with that octagon plane. For the swamp barrel, that's going to be a lot of hand carving. Yeah, I know it's still early, but I need to go get something to eat too. Hey Thomas, people stopped in here to listen to me file. What can be more boring than that? Well, you guys all take care. Thanks for stopping by. Maybe I'll pop into Thomas's live later after I get something to eat. See you guys later.